Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in the office, taking care of business, paying bills as usual, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Thursday. Anybody out there want coaching or mentoring? You want to get on my schedule? You want to become a better version of yourself, level up? Go check out my website at skyazrael.com. You can also go find me on social media, Facebook or Instagram. Just look for my name and send me a friend's request. We'll become friends. Let's talk about how to be more confident, how to be more of a boss. We've talked about some of this stuff before, but I want to go over it again. I like to go over some of this stuff again and again and again. I do with myself. You should see, when I study, I'll study the same thing again and again and again for years until I can own it, until I can live it, until I can do it without even thinking about it. Some of you say, well, I know this stuff already. Well, then why aren't you doing it? If you know it, why aren't you doing it? So let's do this stuff. How do we become more confident? Obviously, where you're all going to start, everybody within the sound of my voice is going to start with the Mind, Body, and Soul program. This is a program that I coach and that I mentor, but I didn't invent this. I latched onto it because it works, saved my life, 100%, made me who I am, and I turn around and I pass it on to others. And that's where you start. Mind, body, and soul, every single day. Daily discipline, lifestyle management. But here's some other tips beyond that, more specific stuff. The first one is your style and your image. We've talked about this in many different videos from a lot of different directions. And I want to keep reiterating it because it's very important, especially for people that want to be leaders, want to climb the ladder, want to be bosses, want to be more respected, want to develop more respect and confidence just in themselves. Your image matters. If you have a low self-image, you're going to be a weakling. You're going to be a weaker version of yourself. Every time you walk out of the house, be the strongest, most powerful, best version of you. And that's this first step you take off of your porch. You're stepping into confidence, into a world with confidence. I'm doing the best I can. And that's a good feeling. You want to reflect this physically. So try to be in decent shape. That'll give you more confidence about yourself. But let's talk about style, because that style is a part of your image. So your clothes matter. Go buy some nice clothes. Think about what outfits you look the very best in, that you get the most compliments in, that you feel the most boss-like in. What outfits would you go on a date with your dream girl with? What outfits would you show up to your ultimate job with? You have the ultimate job that's paying you as much money as you want. You have as much power and responsibility and involvement as you ever dreamed of. How would you look to that? Would you show up in your Crocs and your cargo shorts to that as a CEO of some dream job? Or would you show up maybe looking a little better? Because now you have the money, the time, you can do anything you want. Think about that. Put that image together. Write it down if you have to. Paint a picture. At least just get a mental image of what you think the best version of you is. And then try to achieve that daily. Give yourself enough time in the morning to go through whatever routine you need to go through. Lay your clothes out the night before like you did when you were younger. And every time when you leave the house, you're wearing clothes that fit, that you like, shoes that fit, that you like, that look great, a watch that you like, that could be maybe even a conversation piece if someone sees it, some cologne if you're into that stuff. I love cologne and I don't care about compliments. I'm not wearing cologne for chicks or to impress anybody. I like it. It makes me feel better about myself. There's a lot of science behind this. So do that stuff. Fix your hair up. I know I don't really have a lot of hair right now. When I had hair, you can go look at some of my older videos from a couple years ago. It was just thinning. I tried everything. Brush it this way, brush it that way. Went to my haircut chick, who I was dating, I no longer date. That was one of the inspirations. That you go look at the videos. The day that I have, there's one video where I have hair, and then the next day I have no hair. That's the day me and her broke up. And I was like, fuck that. Going back to a skinhead. It's just easier for me, but have a hairstyle. Some of you guys are just, you have this kind of Albert Einstein thing going on, or maybe you have long hair and you're just kind of looking like a caveman. Brush it up, go to the barber and get all those split ends cut, whatever you need to do. Wear some hair gel, you want to do that pompadour thing. I was always jealous of guys that had enough hair to do a pompadour. I always thought that was a really cool look, Elvis haircut. This is a little harder for some people, but have a car that you're proud of. It doesn't have to be a Lamborghini. It doesn't have to be a Ferrari. It doesn't have to be expensive. You could drive a Camry. Toyota Camry is a great car. Don't be embarrassed about your Camry, but set it up a little nice. Clean it up. Go get it painted if you need to. Get some new tires. And when you pull up, that thing looks tight. That's a nice looking Camry. Who's that? Oh yeah, that's Sky, pulling up in his nice ass Camry. Be a boss. Have your style. The car is an aspect of your style, of who you are. So get into some of that stuff. Your shoes. You know, we talked about this. Now, the next aspect of offering the best version of yourself to the world, but building confidence in yourself, because you have to build confidence in yourself if you want to offer the best version of yourself. If you're not very confident and you look at yourself as kind of weak and maybe you're down on yourself, some people are really self-loathing and they are their own worst enemies. You're not really offering the best version of yourself if you're some self-loathing, self-hating person. So you may need to have a little attitude adjustment. That's a term we used to use out in the streets. The guy needs an attitude adjustment. Go give him a tune-up. You might need a tune-up. Tune up that attitude of yours. So here's some ideas. You can try to be a little bit more in control of your life. Now, it doesn't mean you're a control freak, because that's looked at as being toxic or negative and annoying and whatever. You have to go with the flow in this world, and I talk about that a lot. But there are things you can control, and you can learn what can I control, and I'm going to control those things, and I'm going to tailor my life. At least the things I can control, I will control those things, and this will help steer my life in a direction that I want. And a good attitude to have, one that really presents you as a leader, is that you're in control of your life. You're not a victim to somebody else's whims or ideas or desires. You're doing your thing. You're walking your path, and nobody's going to change that. Another aspect of attitude, a boss-like attitude, to have a confident attitude, is to be calm. It's hard to be a boss if you're not calm. A poor, weak, awful boss is one that screams or has fits or mental breakdowns. If I find a manager acting like that, I'm going to fire him, demote him, get rid of him. I don't need a guy like that on my team. That's not leadership. Nobody's responding to that. Your girl's not responding to that when you freak out. That's not making you a boss. That's not making you the man of the relationship. It just makes you a child. What she's looking at is an overgrown child having a temper tantrum. So be calm. Most all the time. Be calm most all the time. That's who you are, is a calm person. And this is something that I've had to work on because I've been very volatile. Be capable. And you're capable to handle a situation. Doesn't matter what it is. If the food isn't right at the restaurant, you can handle that. If the car needs to be sent back to the mechanic because it wasn't fixed right, you can handle that. If there's a fire to put out at work that, you know, whatever job you have and there's something that needs to be done, you can handle that. You can even step up and say, no, I got that. You can volunteer. Always raise your hand. Always volunteer. Don't be that silent guy in the back trying to weasel out of shit. Load yourself up. I can do that. I can help you with that. Be capable. Be able to fix stuff. And if you're not a handyman, not everybody is, be able to call somebody. Some guys, they can't fix nothing, but then they can't even call a plumber to come fix it. Be able to communicate. Confidence and communication go together. The more you learn how to communicate properly, the more successful you'll be in this world. A lot of success is clear communication. I've had more success in this life from being able to communicate well than I have with being good looking or dominant or aggressive or violent or a host of other qualities that I have. Communication is key. It's the best skill that you could possibly have, whether it be in the work world, in the relationship world, raising your kids, navigating through town, whatever it is, ordering a sandwich at the sub shop. Communication is key. And a good boss, a leader, knows how to communicate well, become articulate. This means you're going to have to read. Being articulate comes from reading. Also writing. Those are two ways that you can become highly articulate and to become a master of words. Word sound is power. If you want power, learn how to speak well. Compassion. A good boss is compassionate. And that really shows when you have a compassionate boss. That's one of the best bosses you've ever had. A leader is compassionate. You can walk by a homeless person and spit on them, kick them in the face. Oh, and I've done shit like that in the past. I used to be a real nasty son of a bitch. I was a bum once, and I hate bums. But I'm not mean to them, because I was one of them, and I understand that everybody goes through problems, everybody goes through stuff, even if it's our own choice, even if your choice has led you to be some dirty, homeless, drug addict, loser, bum, out there committing crimes and shitting on the sidewalk. A boss could still have compassion for someone like that. You don't have to kick them in the nuts, you don't have to shoot them or stab them or brush them away like they're garbage. You can have compassion for people. What would Jesus do? Was Jesus walking around dogging people, trolling people, spitting on people? No. Be disciplined. We've talked about that. And be dedicated. Maybe we can end it there because the video is getting a little bit long. I actually have a couple more points on this. I probably should have managed my time a little better. That's something that bosses do, is manage their time better. But be dedicated. Have some drive. Have some commitment. And commitment shows where you can do the same thing every day, relentlessly. You may want to weasel your way out of this and go to the beach, but the boss doesn't. The boss is there. He's at work. The boss hasn't missed a day ever in 20 years. Why? Because it's his business. And this is the way you treat your life. I don't miss a day of my life because it's my life. I have to show up. I have to be dedicated and driven. Why half-ass something? That's what lazy employees do. They half-ass their way through the door, through the day. Punch their little card and try to hide in the back, and they never really get anything done. They're not very productive. And he never gets promoted. And he wonders why. Be really dedicated every day. Wake up with dedication towards your own forward growth. Be dedicated to offering the best version of yourself to the world as a gift to the world, not as if you're some God king saying, here I am, me. No, it's not like that. It's that I have some skills and some powers for whatever it's worth. I've developed this knowledge over the years, and I can help you out. I've developed some muscles. I can lift that for you. Hey, I can get that door for you. I can help you up. You need help up? Grab my arm. This is all leadership qualities. Food for thought.